this smart home. You know, the promise is incredible, right? A future where everything is automated, seamless, your lights, your thermostat, your speakers, all just working together. But if you've ever actually tried to build one yourself, you probably know the reality is, well, it's a bit more complicated. So why is that? Why does a system that's supposed to make life simpler feel like such a tangled mess? I mean, you've probably got a dozen different apps on your phone, you've got devices that just flat out refuse to talk to each other, and that dream of seamless living, it feels like it's always just a little bit out of reach. We've all been there. You get super excited about some new smart gadget, a cool new lock, maybe some fancy light bulbs. You get it home, you unbox it, and crickets. It just won't work with your smart speaker or the hub you already have. It's just incompatible. So frustrating. Okay, let's get into it. This isn't just you having bad luck. This is the core problem of the smart home as it exists today. It's all fragmented. The whole system is just broken up into all these incompatible little pieces. And here's the kicker. According to research from the University of Scovday, this isn't a bug. It's kind of a feature of the whole market. They call it a babel of gadgets, which I think is perfect. It's like your house is filled with devices that are all speaking their own unique digital language, and nobody can understand each other. So what exactly are these different languages? Well, they're the wireless communication protocols that make all these devices work. And if you want to understand the problem, you got to understand these protocols first. Okay, this is really interesting. Let's break down the big three. First, you've got Wi-Fi, the speed demon. It's awesome for things that need a lot of bandwidth, like your security cameras, but man, it burns through power. Then there's Zigbee, the energy sipper. This one is perfect for tiny battery-powered sensors that need to last for ages. And finally, you've got Z-Wave, the marathon runner. It's super reliable, great for critical things like door locks because it operates on a less crowded frequency. See the problem? They're all good at different things, which is exactly why one hasn't just taken over. And this is what happens in the real world because of that. Imagine you've got one temperature sensor that speaks Z-Wave and another one that speaks Zigbee. If they can't talk to each other, they could end up sending completely opposite signals to your thermostat. One says turn on the heat, while the other says turn on the AC. Your so-called smart home is now actively making things worse. So this brings us to the holy grail, the big goal for the entire smart home industry, this quest for something called interoperability. How in the world do we get all these different gadgets to finally, understand each other? So what is interoperability, really? It's more than just getting devices to connect. It's about them working in symbiosis. It means that when they communicate, it's reliable and, crucially, it's predictable. You push a button and you know exactly what's supposed to happen every single time, no matter who made the device. And this is what it's supposed to look like, a completely unified system. All of your stuff, your sensors, your cameras, your lights, everything, all talking smoothly through one central point of control. It's simple, it's clean, it's the dream. So how do we get there? For a long time, everyone thought the answer was for one hardware protocol to just win the war. But you know what? The research points somewhere else entirely. The solution isn't hardware at all, it's software. The study found a really clear path forward, and it's built around this concept called software-defined networking, or SDN for short. This is the big aha moment. The universal translator we're looking for isn't a new chip, it's smart code. So what this really means is we can stop waiting for a future where every single device uses Wi-Fi, or every device uses Zigbee. That's not going to happen. The future is one where devices use whatever protocol works best for them, and this smart software layer sits on top of everything, acting as the interpreter for the whole group. So what is SDN? Well, think about it like this. Right now, every device has its own little tiny brain to handle networking. SDN basically takes all those little brains and puts them together into one big central software brain. This makes your whole home network programmable, flexible, and, this is the best part, it's vendor neutral. It doesn't care if your gadget is from Apple or Google or some tiny startup. Here's how it actually works in 3 pretty simple steps. First, you've got all your separate devices, all chattering away in their own languages. Second, this SDN software acts like that central translator, fluent in all of them, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Z-Wave, you name it. And third, that software translates all the messages in real time, which creates totally seamless communication. A Zigbee sensor can now reliably tell a Wi-Fi light bulb to turn on. Problem solved. And hey, this isn't just some theory. The research points to a bunch of major solutions that are already doing this. You've got the big guys, like Apple with HomeKit and Google with Weave, but you also have these amazing open source platforms like OpenHAB and Eclipse Smart Home. They're all trying to be that central software brain for your house. So, what's the big picture here? What's the main takeaway from all this? Well, it looks like we're right on the edge of a really huge shift in how our smart homes are actually built. At the end of the day, it's all about moving the intelligence. We're going from a world where every single device has to be smart to a world where the devices can be simpler. Because the real intelligence, the part that does all the coordination and translation, it all lives in one central piece of software. And that is what's finally going to unlock the real potential of the smart home. But this whole idea leaves us with one last and pretty important question to think about. As our homes get more and more connected and they rely on these powerful software translators, who's in charge of that software? Who gets to be the gatekeeper of our homes, our privacy, our data? That right there is the next big challenge we have to solve.